So this video I'm covering how to migrate a Gmail account to Proton Mail and have access to all the services therein that are offered, which is the Proton Calendar, the Drive, the VPN, the password save, and then the wallet. And this promotion, it's the first month for $1, and every month thereafter, $12.99 at this plan, 500 gigabyte of storage. That's pretty decent. And now once you've made a payment successfully, it's going to bring you to this page right here, which is basically like a seed phrase. It's got a recovery kit because you have to have a seed phrase, sort of like a crypto wallet, but this is yours. And if you lose it, the account's gone, because it says right here, I understand if I lose my recovery phrase, I might permanently lose access to my account. So they are not playing around. This happened to me one time before, and I was able to salvage it or find a backup password, but this is really important. So you got to download this. I would keep it on a separate device or multiple devices, and maybe write it down or print it out and then save it somewhere else, because this is serious. And this again is a testament to the fact of why you're using Proton Mail in the first place, is because it's very secure and they take things like this seriously. So that's the next step here. Okay, now this could be, I see, is a little confusing to some people, but when you create your account, there's an account name and then there's a display name. So the display name, when I created the account, it was actually like 369, something like this, but the display name is what people see when you send emails and invite them to an events and whatever. So I want to change this, my display name here, different from the login name or the username that I created. So I'm going to hit display name as this and hit continue. So make sure you choose the right one of what you want people to see as a display name. So now that we're inside the Proton Mail interface here, this is what we're met with on the first screen. And it says privacy is default. Advanced encryption ensures only you and intended recipients access your emails. That's fantastic. Industry-leading spam protection keeps your scam emails from ever reaching your inbox. Protection from trackers means no more being followed across the internet. Let's get started. Distraction-free emailing. It says right here, enjoy a faster, focused emailing experience with the desktop app. So I'm using the browser, but also you have the option to download to the desktop right here. I'll just choose maybe later. Of course, they have an app on the phone. You can scan that QR code right there or download the app directly and then use login information to access it through your device. They have it for Apple and Android. Make it your own. These are different themes and whatnot. Light, dark, whatever. I'll choose the carbon one. That looks pretty good. Or maybe this one. I'll choose carbon. Use this. Activate premium features. Make the most out of your plan. So start using a shorter, catchier version of email address. So for the domain, for example, I'm going to change this because, I'm noticing one thing that I actually typed this in wrong. But I'm going to change this so I can have the domain at my domain, and then also let's see what else they got. Auto delete, spam, and trash. It'll automatically clean out your account. And then dark web monitoring. This is new. So I guess it says if somebody's cracked your password or found out what your password is, they'll notify you. I want to turn this one off because the pm.me, I want to change that anyways. So I'll just leave that off and hit activate selected. There's a bunch of stuff to see on the side here, but don't get overwhelmed. We're just going to do this quickly and we can look at all this other stuff later. It's showing you all these extra features and stuff that you have with this email account included in your plan, which is great, but we're going to get to that later. Hey everyone, just a quick note here. Now that you purchased or considering purchasing a Proton Unlimited account, the first section of this video describes how to migrate a domain and set up a domain for your email account, your business email. Now, if that doesn't interest you and that's not what you're here for, skip through to later in the video where it describes just how to migrate your email account from another service provider, be that Microsoft, Gmail, or something else. Those instructions are later on in the video, and I'll try to leave a chapter marker in the description. So we're going to go to the domain names here, and we're going to choose add a domain. So mine is integritydesign.us. And we'll hit next. Then it says, for security reasons, we need to verify that you're the owner of integritydesign.us. Please add the following text records to your DNS console located on the platform where you purchase custom domain. So what you're going to do here is if you bought it from GoDaddy or if you got it from Bluehost or like another service provider, something like this, it's going to give you this code, and we're going to copy that code and paste it into that section wherever you purchased your domain from, and that's going to fix the problem here. So if you're using a server like GoDaddy or something like this, the DNS records would normally be here, but since mine is grayed out, that means my DNS record is coming from a different place, which is on the Wix website hosting. So I'm going to have to go into the settings of the Wix platform and find it there. So in case that's what's happening with you and you signed up with Wix or another website service provider that gave you a DNS record or hosting or something like this for your domain, that's where you'd find it. All right, so this is the difficult part here, and it's a little confusing, and you may run into this, and depending where you purchased your website and you purchased your domain name from two different things, you may run into this problem. So if you're beyond this part and you've purchased both of them from the same provider, you're in luck because that's probably easier. And if you have it on two different places, this is what you're going to have to do. So you log into your account. So this is with Wix, and I have an account with Wix. So I go under my profile, my settings, and then go down to the domain section right here. So I go down to the domain section, then I click through here. And in the domain section, I click these extra 3 dots right here that say domain actions, and we're going to go to manage DNS records. Now in this section, you're going to see a bunch of codes and different numbers and stuff like that. So don't get overwhelmed. We're just going to scroll down here to the TXT section. So getting back to it, now that we found the TXT section right here, we're going to add a record to it. And so this is where that record is. You're going to copy this string out right here of a bunch of text, and it looks like a hash code, but you're going to copy this, and it says right there, host name is the @ symbol. And on the Wix interface or on the Wix page right here, it said maybe to leave it blank. So I think you can either leave the value blank or you can have the @ symbol right there, but I think we're going to try it leaving it blank because that's what it's recommending. So now that we have found where the TXT section needs to go, we go back to our Proton Mail right here, and this is going to be the TXT code that we've been assigned, and we're going to copy that right there, and then go back to the Wix platform and paste that in the value section right here. Control V, pasting that in, and the host name, it has advised us to use the @ symbol or just leave it blank. So either way, I think it'll work both ways, just by using the @ symbol or blank. But I noticed right here in this pop-up section, it says if your domain provider tells you to add the character @ in the host name field, don't add the character, you should leave the field blank. So that's why I'm leaving it blank. And in your case, if you're following along and trying this, maybe you read those instructions, and if you're not using Wix, maybe you want to leave the @ symbol. Anyways, I'll leave everything as it is and just click save. And it says right here, you have successfully added the TXT record. So after that happens, it may take a couple hours to update. It says right here, add the following TXT record. DNS records can take several hours to update. So we'll have to wait and see if that's going to be done properly. And in the next section, we're going to add the MX record and something else here that we need. So yeah, as you can see, it may take some time to populate there and propagate. If we hit next, it'll say right here, verification did not succeed. Please try again in an hour. And there's a technical explanation for why that happens, but really what you need to do is just be patient. And I think whilst we're waiting for that, we could do the MX record or anything else that needs to be set up here as the next step. Picking up where we left off, you'll see that after a little bit of time to propagate, these green checkboxes will show up to say that it's verified and connected. So however long it takes, for me it took about an hour and a half, so however long it takes, you won't be able to proceed forward until these green boxes show up. Now the next thing you're going to see is the MX and the SPF with the red X's, at least on my section here. And we're going to change this. This stands for mail exchange, and this is what's responsible for moving from Gmail or the other account to Proton Mail. And we're going to just do the same thing here in this section here. We're going to copy this one here. And so for me, at least, I'll go back to Wix because that's who's hosting my website and have the email set up through and the domain and everything. So this section with the MX, that stands for mail exchange, and this is the part where it points from Gmail over to Proton Mail. So this is really important. And it looks like there's two of them here, and I think this is just like a time limit or something like that. I'm not sure exactly, but we're just going to copy this first one here. And then I'm going to go back into the Wix section where it says MX Mail Exchange and click Edit Records. Since Proton Mail doesn't show up on this section here, I will click Other, and then I will add two boxes because the first one is 10, the second one is 20 under priority, you could see. So I will paste the first one in there. That's the first one. Then I'll go back to this section right here and copy the second one. Then I'll go back to Wix and enter this in the second one with the numerical value of 20 right there, and I'll hit save. And it says right here, you successfully updated your MX records, mail exchange records. So that's done. Now that we've covered the mail exchange, we're going to move on to SPF. I think it does stand for spam protection filter, something like that. It's unclear, but I think that's what it does. So I'm going to go over here and copy this value right here, and then go over to the Wix platform again. And since on Wix there's not one that says SPF, right? So we're going to go under the TXT right here and choose the value section and paste that in, and then hit save. And as you can see, it says we've successfully added that one. And then we'll go back and do the same thing for the DKIM. This is again another security measure protocol because it prevents attackers and spam and this type of thing, cryptography, things like this, right? So basically there's two different sections here. Now you'll notice that we're going to have to go under what's called a CNAME right here back in the Wix panel. So we're going to copy the host name from ProtonMail. There's three of them right here. I'll copy the first one, and then back in the Wix, at least for my purposes, I'm using Wix, so I go down to the CNAME section right here, CNAME, right there, and then I'll go to add record, right here. We'll click that, and in the first box, we're going to paste this first section, and then go to the value section over here, value data, the first one here, copy, and then paste it right here, Control V, paste, and then hit save. Let's see what this says. You made changes to your domain's default A or CNAME record, which may cause your site to go offline. Are you sure we want to make changes? I'll just hit save. Okay, now what you'll notice is that you may get that error message that just popped up. And so when that happens, you want to go back and delete that dot that's on the last character of that string. So for example, imagine this is like computer code, right? So you have to be very specific about it. So every dot or dash or space that's out of place can just totally break this thing, this chain. So basically we're going to go back and copy the second one now. We're going to go to the Wix and just repeat the process. It's pretty simple. If you do it slowly, it's copy and paste. So we're going to paste that one there. And then we're going to go into the value data section of this one here and copy the second one. And then go over here and then hit paste. And then you can see that there's a dot right there at the end of that CH. We're just going to hit backspace once and remove that dot and then hit save. And then you got the green message here. Now finally, we'll do the last one. Copy that. Add another record right here, paste that section, go back to Proton, copy this third and final one, go back over here and hit paste. And then again, delete the last one off of there and then hit save. Boom. All right, and can you guess what we're going to do next? Well, we got the DMARC, and we're going to do the same thing. Down here you can see it says quarantine, and so this is going to do put your emails into a spam or quarantine filter, something like that, and then rejecting unauthorized emails and like email addresses and whatnot. So the host name you can see right here is dmarc underscore dmarc, and then there's the value data right there. So we're going to go back into Wix. Can you guess what we're going to do? We're going to go to the text records, and then we're going to paste that in right there, and then we're going to get this value right here and copy and paste it here and hit save. Maybe this needs to be blank. There you go. Okay, so now how do we add our new email address and domain that we've just added? Good, great question. So we're going to go down here to domain names, and if you hit refresh status, it's going to show you like what's updated. So we've added all these ones. It says, yes, that's good, that's good, that's good. And then this other one here, this couple two are just waiting on some other things, but I think that could be uh, addressed later once it's processed or whatnot. So it looks like at the moment you get onto the identity and addresses section here. And this is where you can set up your signature and your emails and all this kind of thing. So you're going to go to add Proton address, because now that we've connected all this other stuff here, we go to add Proton address. And I'm going to type in the email that I want with the domain name that I choose. So now I've added that one. So I want this to either be like info or whatever you want it to be right there. And the display name, again, is what somebody, if you were to send an invite, if you want that to be a business name or your personal name or something like that, you put that here and then just hit save address. All right, so now you can see there's a couple notifications we're getting through our inbox already. It says your integritydesign.us emails are now protected by DKIM, and then other things are set up. The domain is active, so that's good. We're getting that confirmation. And so now we're going to go do the final step. And so this is the second step if you needed to change your domain name like I did, but otherwise it could be this quick. So here, pay attention here. We're going to go to all settings, and you're going to look on the left sidebar. And right over here, we're going to choose this one right here, import via easy switch. Now again, if you just got ProtonMail to start with and you don't have a custom domain that you need to import, this is the first step for you, is just click to import easy switch, and you can choose. Are you going to forwarding the email from Gmail or Google? And then, or are we going to do it a one-time import? So bring in our messages, contacts, calendars, the Proton, one time only from these sources right here, Yahoo, Google, Outlook, or something else. This is the step that you want to choose because you don't need to swap your domain name. Pretty simple and straightforward. So I'm going to choose Google because I'm going to import my email, contacts, calendar, and everything, and hit start import. Then I'll need to sign in through the Google side of things and give it access and authenticate it, and then allow it to import on its own. And once I hit this button here, it could take, depending on how many emails you have in that account, it could take 15-20 minutes up to several hours, depending how much data is over there. So I'm just going to hit continue. So it's giving the authorization for Proton to access your Google account, and then we're going to hit continue here. And yes, you want to select all because I trust Proton more than Scroogle. And then I'm going to hit continue. And now it's going to gather my data and migrate it into our new email platform. So it says here you can customize things. Just to confirm, are we going to do emails, contacts, calendars, and all this type of thing? I don't think I have anything on the calendar, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, you get the point. Whatever these boxes mean to you, check the ones that you want and hit start import. Let's see what happens. Import in progress. And then I'm also getting a notification on my phone that's saying that yes, it was me, or no, it wasn't me, the type of security verification that you have set up. So you want to choose yes, because sometimes this can pause your process if you don't confirm it. So if you're getting a two-factor authentication code or notification on your mobile device, then you just click that button and then everything will move forward. So there's that. And it says I'm going to get an email once my import is complete, and I can close the tab or the browser in the meantime whilst it's doing that. Fantastic. I'm going to come back in just a little while and see what happens here. So here's a note right here. It's accessed my emails and migrated them over. As you can see, this one was from 8:41 a.m. yesterday and the day before. So it moved all these things over, and you can see that everything's working to come in. So what I'll do is I'll just do a test email going out and see if a friend of mine gets my email. I can see that emails are coming in, so I'll just have somebody email me and see if they come in, and I'll email out and do a test email, right? Pretty simple and straightforward. All right, so now you can see that I got the email test back. That's the test email that I sent out, and I got a reply. I got two replies actually, so now that it's working, everything's set up perfectly. So like, I hope you were following along and got yours set up exactly the same. It was pretty simple, right? So as you can see, it wasn't that hard to set up. We got our test email back. It does work. It's not that difficult to set up. And there's a bunch of other useful features here. I'm not going to go through everything, but feel free to experiment and see what settings work best for you. Now, in the next series of videos, if you would subscribe to this channel or follow along, I will be covering some of these other really important tools that I'm using. And like I say, I share this service and this platform with my group. I am a user of these products, so therefore I do have referral links and would recommend it to others because it's really important right now to control your privacy and have this security features that on a lot of other platforms are being used against us. And so with that said, I will be sharing some of these other videos about how to set up your um, VPN and how to use a drive and maybe a crypto wallet. And also one of their newest features right here is Lumo AI, which is exactly a competitor to Google Gemini, ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, and these type of things, which these platforms right here are using the information against you. Now with the Lumo from Proton, they claim that they do not log your chats. They don't use data to train against you. They have no ads in their platform, and it's open source, and also they respect your privacy. And those are all great things. So if you're going to use I highly recommend it. Now, I do have referral links to these platforms here, and I use them myself. And I would not use a referral link or recommend it if I didn't use the software and believe in it. And for example, setting up this entire email domain type of thing and all the technical information, I use an AI tool myself, and this one is called Abacus AI, and it uses an aggregator. So basically, I went through this entire process of how to swap domains and set up these technical coding and whatnot to be able to migrate a domain from Google Gmail to the Proton Mail. So basically, if you need something like this, it works just like something like the ChatGPT or OpenAI, where you can basically tell it to do whatever you want and prompt it to do things for you and have it figure stuff out for you by using a route which can aggregate through all these different types of AI services: ChatGPT, Claude Sonnet, Gemini, Nano Banana, GPT-5, like Grok, whichever the best service is for using AI. It will find that for you and then aggregate that. So for one low price, you get to use all these different AI services, and by a pass-through entity, you're not directly using those services yourself. So you're not signing up for ChatGPT, you're not signing up for Gemini. You're using the service through an intermediary, which when I look at it, it's a safer way to do so. Now, this program can do all kinds of things like creating AI videos and images, and you can actually upload screenshots and upload your information just as you would any other kind of AI tool that's out there right now. But you can use so much more of them. Now, I love this platform. It's so helpful, it's so useful, and I use it a lot for assisting me in creating these type of videos and whatnot. But if you're interested in this one, I do have a referral link right here where I can invite you to it. I think it's great, and for a low price, monthly low price for these credits that you're purchasing, this thing is just amazing what you can do with it and how valuable it is. So please check that out and try to help support these channel. These videos do take a long time to make, and if you appreciate them or you got some kind of value for it, maybe consider using these links here. I'm sure it would help you immensely. It can do just about anything. So with that said, I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. And if it didn't work for you, or if you have an issue, leave it in the comments. I do read them, and perhaps I can make another video on your comments and try to help you out that way. And feel free to join the group that we're growing this community on keeping everything private and sovereign, and teach people how to operate in the digital world without getting screwed over by big tech.